Recorded in their mother's basement, Super Nerdland brings you Graded Point 5, where in a comic book it would be worth less than the polybag it comes in.
Hey everybody, and welcome to Grade Point 5. I'm your host Jason. With me tonight is the usual gaggle of assholes.
Yeah, buddy.
Hey.
I respond to Saudi Prince Braun Strowman. Thank you very much.
No.
Through this.
I think his description is good, and that's something I've been aspiring to all my life.
You will refer to me as Your Majesty, Your Highness, or Your Excellency, or any of those things. I will also accept Grand Magister.
No, I will never refer to you those things.
So as you say, Grand Misogynist?
Yeah.
As you can see, Daryl and Wayne are here. Evan's in the background just shaking his head.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Alright, so...
I didn't even have time to...
episode of Hellboy, man.
Yeah.
That Daryl hasn't read. We just...
Of course.
Yeah. Hey, look, today was a fucking busy day, so give me a break.
Had 3 weeks to read it, and he still didn't read it.
Was it?
Hey, if we were a prepared podcast, then why would our name be graded 0.5 if we were good?
Right. And listen, I've been spending a lot of time in a pot haze lately, so...
So once again, I'm the sober one, not C.
Hey, I'm not. Hey, listen, I'm not smoking right now.
I already did.
I'm on board. I'm on board with Mr. Donut Cop here. I'm not doing shit. I'm just drinking coffee. That's it.
Hey,
Yeah. What kind of booze is in there?
excuse me, young man.
Sorry, I meant to say Donut King. I'm sorry. Donut King of Saudi Arabia. My bad.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Have you been having some of that reefer there, son? That wacky tobacco?
Yes.
No, that's
The
illegal in the
wackiest.
kingdom. It's illegal in the kingdom.
But I'm in the kingdom. They're not, so I have to.
Yeah. This is Lord Wayne of Krispy Kreme.
Oh.
Alright, enough of this shit.
This week, it's Hellboy, Week 9, Makoma, a little 2-issue thing. And as usual, if you think we're wrong and completely off base, go hit us up on Twitter at Grade.5.
And then we'll block you promptly.
And tell us how wrong Daryl is, and we'll block you for it.
Yes.
Oh no, man! I will come to your house and try to be intimidating, and then realize that I'm not, and run away.
Then you realize that I am actually a Saudi prince, and you can't.
But
Daryl,
but you're
only
black.
4'7", dude.
No, I'm 3'6". Get it right, motherfucker. Jesus Christ! You can't even get. Look, we've known each other almost 4 years now.
Right.
Come on,
And you
man.
never knew I was a lawn gnome? Come on.
Hell yeah, dude! I'm guarding that fucking lawn. Ain't nobody fucking with shit on that lawn.
Rolling Romeo and Juliet.
Yep.
Daryl's lawn is literally like sand and cactuses.
Oh yeah. Dude, I salted the earth so nothing would grow on it.
BRB, gotta go mow the rocks tonight.
Yep. Oh shit, somehow new rocks have appeared where the old ones are. I have to pick through them. That is my curse. I wasn't born a gnome, but...
Having a nice Bud Light while you do it. Riding mower, yep.
Yeah.
I know what's going on here.
The rock separator.
It's like all you hear from Daryl's yard is like conk, 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 conk. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
So before we get into this week, let's kind of retread a little bit, because last week, boy, did we fuck up.
Did we?
Oh, you guys were fine for the most part. I listened. You got most of the key plot details right.
I don't think we even talked about
that episode yet, dude.
Oh, well, then maybe I am on the drugs than I should be.
So let's summarize. Okay, so Hellboy is the ghost of Sparta, and he's going to. Oh wait, that's God of War. Sorry, wrong damn.
Yeah, you guys aren't too far off though.
You're right.
I mean, yeah.
Kind of the similar storyline.
So you guys sort of got the big picture for the first time in the Hellboy universe last week. You would have heard about the Hyperboreans, who were on Earth originally, trapped beneath, well, I guess not trapped beneath the ice at the time, but yeah, they lived where there was once ice, now with the poles.
They were their leader was named Terry Hyperborea.
Terry Hyperborea, yes.
God damn it.
Yeah.
A little too inside baseball, though.
Check my Twitter account if you want some information on that. That was about 2 years ago, so yeah.
Yeah, so keep an eye out for Terry Hyperborea.
Who looks like, a lot like Hulk Hogan.
Oh, God.
I just got to tell you guys, I checked out like 5 minutes ago, so.
All right, see you later.
Oh, he actually did. Okay. You guys yeah, come back. Come back here.
Dude, listen, I was leaving the sinking ship. You guys had to, this is me swimming away, and you guys are there with a rope fucking reeling me back in like a fish.
Yeah, we threw a life preserver out for you.
Dude, it goes well with the helmet I always wear.
God damn it.
Keep your brains from leaking out and stuff, yeah.
What brains?
Exactly.
I resent that remark. All right.
You won't call me by my proper title, so I'm going to call you whatever the fuck I want now.
Your proper title
is Prince
Prince Ali, fabulous.
Exactly. At least you're getting in the right kingdom. Like that's that's good.
Oh shit! I thought you were a Nigerian prince because I'm pretty sure you're black.
Saudi. That's right there in my name. Saudi Prince Braun Strowman. Come on.
Oh shit! We got a celebrity in our midst.
All right. Yeah, and we got like the bigger overview of how the the gods and shit work too.
Mm-hmm.
How like there's one big capital G god somewhere that doesn't appear to be like screen time and shit.
Mm-hmm.
He's like the big whatever god. He's like
yeah.
And
there's the Watchers.
Let the little guys play kind of thing. Yeah.
And the Agdur Jahad, which is nearly a god.
Okay, so we mentioned the first men.
Yep.
Right? We mentioned the Agdur Jahad, the dragon that's going to eat the world. What else did we get introduced to?
Oh, the fact that the right hand is the hand of a watcher.
Yeah, it's basically an ancient... Yeah, the ancient hand, the last of the first men, possessed it. That sound about right?
I thought it was one of the semi-deity beings.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It would have been before the first men. You're right.
Yeah.
You got it. Yeah, and then we also learned that the first men, like, they're on fire, right? Like, all of their hands are on fire. At least in the images. That might be important. That might be important later. So I think you've, like, pretty much caught up to all of the Hellboy lore. There's angels and well, not really angels. There's demons and giant world-eating monsters. And
lightly veiled,
and then there's men.
Lovecraft references everywhere.
Yes, Lovecraft references literally everywhere. In addition to like a random Moby Dick reference and stuff like that.
There is one thing I could have done a little less of with the Hellboy lore is all the gay sex all the time. That's a little much for me, but aside from that, everything else is groovy.
Yeah,
What are you reading?
I might be reading Hellboy fan fiction.
I'm pretty sure he's reading the same Hellboy that I am.
I think you're reading them dojins from Japan.
Yeah. Oh God, that explains all. See, I just thought the tentacles were there because it's Lovecraftian. I didn't realize this. Yeah. And since
we said, hey, go look up some Hellboy shit, and you actually put Hellboy shit, and then
oh God, so much feces. The weirdest one I saw, was it was literally a statue of Hellboy made out of human shit. It was fucking weird. Don't
detail.
What the hell are you on?
High on life, my dude. He's high on life.
And a few other substances.
Well, later those substances will come in for now.
Don't you know that life is the street name for cocaine? Come on.
Yeah, it turns out I'm actually fucking less sane when I'm fucking not high. Let's move on, shall we?
So yeah, do we want to talk about this week's issue at all?
Two-parter, Makoma. Or A Tale Told by a Mummy in the New York City Explorers Club on August 16th, 1993.
That guy Hellboy kicked out of the same Explorers Club for
touching mummies.
The mummy, yeah.
Touching mummies. Yeah, so this one was actually... okay, so this was released or where I'm familiar with this one, is it was released as part of a big collection. There's actually a few more. Believe it or not, there's a few more Hellboy short stories that this was also released with.
Yep.
Some of those were pretty good. Particularly one about I want to say like a pair of Norwegian sisters, but we didn't read that. We're talking about Makoma. Yeah, as Jason mentioned, you guys want to help me with the summary, or am I gonna take care of this like I usually
You do it.
Son of a whore. Okay.
Well, you usually have a better grasp on it than the rest of us.
This is fair.
We're barely literate.
Yeah, you're Hellboy virgins and you're barely literate. So
I find calling a prince a virgin is an insult, and
well, are you married,
to your wedding night, you fucker?
Yeah,
are you married?
I'm a prince in fucking Saudi Arabia. I get tail all the time. Get out of here.
dude. But those goats don't count, motherfucker. We told you that.
And you gotta keep up
camels.
appearances. You gotta keep up appearances too.
Dude, your wife, all 6 or 7 of your wives are just beards, dude. Okay?
6 or 7, not like a paltry amount. What are you talking about? That's like I'm in the high 30s now, motherfucker.
Yeah,
Get out of here.
yeah, but that's 30 women that you keep with you so you don't look gay in public.
Look, I have problems. And
I have many problems.
yeah, but it's okay to embrace your homosexuality at this point. You don't need to like push it off on me.
Hey, you're the one who sent me the dick pics, and I gotta say, that is a big, giant black cock. Oh, well, that would explain why one of those pics was white.
Hashtag got him. Anyway.
Really? You hashtagging yourself?
Yeah, I got you. You were got.
Now, nothing else you said pissed me off, but that did.
Got you. Son, sit down. Anyway.
What, sit down? Because you got 30 beards?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Get out of here. Leave again.
So are we thoroughly got? Are all the boys thoroughly got?
Yes.
They're got. They are
Okay.
totally got.
Story pretty straightforward. Hellboy's hanging out.
That joke works better when I can come in on my own.
Yeah. We're just hanging out. The boys at the Explorers Club. Hellboy and some dude with an ugly mug. All of us.
Some red guy.
Yeah, some red guy, some white guy. Well, Italian guy. And
Tell he's Italian because of all the grease.
My jokes are converging here. Anyway.
jokes are converging here. So, yeah, Hellboy's just chatting him up, hanging out in the museum, and all of a sudden he starts talking to a mummy. Which is because that's a pretty typical Hellboy thing to do. Like, you just fall through a floor and talk to a mummy every day.
It's always like I loved about Hellboy. He's always nonplussed about when shit like that happens. He's like,
Okay, this is happening now.
he's like, oh, this is the thing that's happening right now.
Mm-hmm. So, Hellboy and the Mummy talk about how Africa met Hellboy, the continent met Hellboy when he was but a child, and knew him by his demon name.
Mind you, Africa is a giant fucking rhino.
Yes. Yeah, Africa is embodied by a giant fucking rhino. Hellboy's response to learning that he met Africa when he was a child is very, again, nonplussed. Jeez, how do you forget something like that? And yeah, all of a sudden Hellboy's talking to a mummy, and they're walking together out of a dark tomb in Africa as the mummy, begins to explain the tale that makes up the bulk of our story. He tells us about a boy named Makoma, meaning he who is greatest and without fear. And yeah, we hear a story, it's like a folktale about Makoma, an African-style folktale where it's like, yeah, Makoma wandered the desert and
beat up giants.
Yeah, beat up giants pretty much.
With a hammer.
With a hammer. Yeah, Makoma as a child is thrown into a pool. His mother is opposed because there's crocodiles in there, but then all the crocodiles die. And he rises from the pool a fully grown man.
With a hammer.
With the hammer. So, and as this is occurring, something really interesting happens in the comic. We go from Mike Mignola's art to Richard Corbin's art. In the change of one panel, as Hellboy falls asleep, we go from Awake, Mignola art, all the blacks and all that stuff. And when we awake, we're Corbin art, which is sort of done in the Hellboy style, but it's like...
Oh, and it should be mentioned that Makoma is played. The part of Makoma is played by Hellboy in this.
Yeah, in this dream.
Yeah.
So instead of the hammer, he's got the right hand.
The right hand of doom. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder.
So we get this really interesting... Yeah, we get this weird transition that we don't expect. We go from, a red panel to a red panel, but now we've got a new artist.
Oh! Sorry, I was just wondering where the fuck I recognized Richard Corbin's art from.
Yeah, where do you recognize it?
I used to read a shitload of heavy metal back in the day.
Okay, that makes sense.
And Richard Corbin apparently worked on Den. Yeah, he created Den and the whole Neverwhere setting. Oh no, that is pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, don't mind me while I look all this up and try to find out exactly what you're talking about. Oh, holy shit, all of a sudden this makes sense. All of a sudden the episodes of South Park make a lot more sense.
Yeah.
Or the one episode of South Park makes
Maximum
a lot more
Boobage?
sense. Major Boobage, yeah.
Major Boobage, yeah. Yeah. It's all
that makes
heavy
sense.
metal.
Yeah, no, and this is one of the more definitive heavy metal artists.
Yeah.
Huh.
Except for the South Park episode was making fun of the Tarna sequences from heavy metal.
Yeah, that's true too.
Sorry, heavy metal is one of my favorite movies.
No, heavy metal is one of my favorite movies, which is why seeing this...
See, it all makes sense now, doesn't it?
Yeah, wow. Okay, so
yeah,
we got a sweet artist.
Yeah, right? This makes this whole thing pop a little more to me now. It's like I'm looking at these African tribesmen, I'm like, the style, something about it just looks familiar. And I zip back and I'm like, all right, this name sounds familiar, but it's not clicking,
Mm-hmm.
But now it's just
mostly... I think he's done other Hellboy stuff too. Like, I want to say he did the Crooked Man for Hellboy.
Okay.
If I'm thinking of the same... Yeah, he did the art for the Crooked Man, which has like one of the creepiest fucking images I've ever seen in my entire life in it. So yeah, we got a sweet artist. Back to Makoma. Yeah, Hellboy walks out of the pool. He is Makoma. He is our grown African boy who's told that he's got to go hunt giants and to fill a bag with the bones of his enemies.
Hold on a sec. So we got a dude with a hammer going around beating up giants.
And, yeah.
This sounds really fucking familiar.
No, of course not.
No, it doesn't?
No, not at all.
Huh.
Okay.
I never read Thor.
Yeah, right?
So, yeah, our boy meets like a pretty creepy looking... like a witch doctor? Is that what you'd call her? A shaman?
Yeah. More of a shaman, yeah, I think would be the...
Yeah, so he meets this shaman who tells him that he's got a bag to fill with the bones of his enemies and that they're going to meet at the end of the world. So Hellboy goes to wander and he meets a giant and the giant asks his name and he responds with Makoma. The giant knows the meaning of the name. We know that it means he who is powerful, awesome, and without fear. Yeah, and the giant fights him. We get like a nice little Hellboy beat him up. Yeah, a few beat him up panels.
This is great because like, I'm used to seeing the big fantasy fights from Corbin from heavy metal,
Mm-hmm.
and seeing it applied to Hellboy, it's so starkly different from Mike Mignola, but it works so fucking well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got like your classic 1980s style muscle man fight right here.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be out of place in like a Conan or something like that.
Like old school Barry Windsor Smith Conan.
Yeah, or like even. I mean, it wouldn't even be out of place in like a modern Conan. Like these fights look exactly like the fights I just read in Conan Wonder Woman a couple months ago.
Right. Or conversely, this would not look out of place in an issue of Heavy Metal.
A giant red guy beating up an ogre. Wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, a bunch of mutant ogres. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, that sounds exactly like Heavy Metal, actually.
Yeah. Throw a Lochnar in there, and you're good to go.
The Lochnar. Dude, every time I hear that word, I just imagine John Candy saying it, and it totally ruins it for me. The Lochnar, what's that?
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, aw, jeez.
Yeah.
A line actually uttered by John Candy's character.
Yeah, exactly. How many characters did he voice in that thing? Was it like 3 or 4 or something like that? Yeah.
2.
Like one too many.
He voiced Den, and he voiced the fucking the robot that was trying to screw the woman.
Crying.
And
Yeah, the robot who was trying to screw the woman, I think, was the appropriate use of John Candy. Putting John Candy in as like a buff hero.
Just doesn't
What
make
do you mean, the Lochnar? Like, doesn't sound right to me.
That was
just your barf from Spaceballs saying it. And I'm like, you look nothing like Barf. You look like a muscle man. Can you be a fat dog man? So back to Hellboy. Hellboy beats up this ogre, and
shrinks.
And as the ogre is beaten up, he becomes small enough to fit in Makoma's bag. And Hellboy, for beating up the giant, grows larger. And pretty much tells the giant to piss off, and then meets a new giant. And this new giant, digs the riverbeds where the first one built the earth. And the giant does not respond to Makoma's very prideful name well at all. And is also placed in the bag.
After getting the shit beat out of him.
Well, yeah, but like we don't even get to see the shit getting beat out of him this time. It's just like
foregone conclusions.
Upon hearing that name, this giant was also enraged. The two fought, and the results were the same.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, great. I want to see Hellboy fight scenes, but maybe I'm expecting too much.
The third giant only gets 2 damn panels.
Yeah, the third giant literally only gets 2 panels. So, as opposed to the other giant who only gets 2 panels, yeah. So clearly, this isn't the part of the story we should be getting stuck on.
Sarcasm is not appreciated here, Evan.
So yeah, quick and easy, Hellboy beats the living shit out of 4 giants and throws them in the bag. Each of the giants corresponds to some elemental force.
Yeah, we've got the earth, we've got the rivers, we've got the trees, and what's the last one? We don't even learn because the thing doesn't have enough time to say what it is. Hellboy just starts fighting it.
Dude that built the mountains, dude that did the riverbeds, the planter of forests, and the river dude.
Yeah, maybe he's probably got to be like the father of animals or something, since he's surrounded by all the animals, and he looks sort of like a fish. A fish frog, a retarded fish frog.
Are you saying he walks with the animals and talks with the animals?
Yes. I guess I'm saying that.
I'm phoning it in.
So yeah, Hellboy keeps wandering, comes across a big-ass fire demon.
Mm-hmm.
They fight.
Yeah, Hellboy looks like he's gonna stick the fire demon in the bag, but the fire demon's all like, yeah, I want that. You were meant to be more. put me in the bag, and you'll grow massive and super powerful. And because Hellboy, anytime Hellboy, even as a character, is told to do anything, his response is, no, fuck you, I'm gonna do what I want to do.
So he tears the fucking demon out of the guy's throat.
Yeah, he pulls the demon out of the thing's mouth. It's a little lizard. And he sticks it in what looks like a... Like, what is that? It's like a...
It's some kind of...
a prison
talisman.
made of sticks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That lizard was trying to talk shit, too. He was like, fucking let me go. Tiny little motherfucker.
Yeah. So he fucks up the little lizard. And he keeps walking towards the edge of the world, because he knows that that's where he's destined to go. And he meets an asshole voodoo priest-looking dude who pretty much explains that, yeah, I'm peace. I'm the end of the world. You've come such a long way. Come on, buddy. And then the giants in the bag tell him to look, and he realizes that it's death that he's now met. And what happens here?
Death gets pissed off at, seeing through the deception, tries to fight Hellboy with what look to be giant ants.
Yeah, like humanoid ants.
Yeah.
And ants, yeah, I see that.
And then, the voodoo dude's like, you know what, if you give me your bag, I'll let you go free. And
yeah,
so
okay.
Hellboy kind of outsmarts him a bit and goes, okay, but I'm going to keep this thing right here. Shows
I'm going to keep
off
that little talisman thing.
Yeah. And so the guy's like, oh no, I want that. You can keep the fucking bag. Hellboy's like, alright, and leaves. And the dude cracks the talisman thing open, and the demon explodes and takes them all out.
Mm-hmm. So the demon consumes death. He's outsmarted death. And hammer and bag in hand, Makoma walks to a wasteland, the edge of the world, and his strength runs out.
Mind you, the edge of the world is literally a pile of bones of every conceivable thing. There's dinosaurs in there.
Yeah, right at the end there's dinosaurs, little chicken bones, elephant bones, all that good stuff. Humans. Yeah, so Hellboy passes out right in front of a house. He notices a house as he's passed out. And inside the house there is the old woman who gave him the bag in the first place. And she's young. And
it's younger, yeah.
Yeah, she gets younger, like right in front of him.
She gets younger right in front of him. She puts the light out. Hellboy gets some strange from a newly young woman. And yeah, he's visited in his dreams.
By Africa.
By Africa, yes. The giant rhinoceros in the sky. I would have gone with Mufasa, but I feel like that would probably be cliched by now. You go with the giant lion in the sky, because that image resonates.
Yeah.
But no, a giant rhinoceros in the sky resonates
Especially
too.
with a fucking horn that big, dude. It's like, it looks like a normal rhino, but the horns are like fucking massive.
Mm-hmm.
It almost looks like some kind of like prehistoric Ice Age rhino.
Like it shouldn't be like as big as its horn is. It wouldn't be able to hold up its head. Like really, right? Like
this thing's one step removed from a triceratops.
Yeah, and it's ugly, but like ugly in a striking way. Not ugly in a way
kind
where
of like
I'm
Africa
like,
itself.
Maybe.
What?
Yeah, it's striking. There's some rough edges. There's a lot of rough edges.
Yeah, Johannesburg.
I would have gone with Zimbabwe, but yeah. So Hellboy wakes up in the morning with his new girly friend, and he's got a great feast in front of him, roasted meat. And he's starving, so he eats, and he eats, and he eats until nothing remains. Where did it come from? Last night I didn't see any animals. Bitch tells him he ate his friends. So he's eaten all the giants. And there's a boy in the bag. where there once was giants. Is that right?
So what you're telling me is Hellboy's keeping a small semi-feral human in a bag.
Yeah.
This is ANCAP as fuck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the boy's job is to give life back to the world, so it makes sense. That's not how Ancapistan works.
And while they're giving this bit of exposition, the lady Hellboy just fucked turns back into an old crone.
Well, she's given her strength to Hellboy too, right?
But yes, but that's still, like, it's like, God, like a couple hours ago I was boning you and you were young, and now you're just like grandma.
Now you're a wizened old hag. What's going on?
This is not what I needed to see. Couldn't you have waited till I left to turn back?
Well, that might actually be something that would be like a cool, striking thing, where Hellboy turns to, like, after Hellboy leaves, you see that she's also given her strength, like, as he's passed, as opposed to before he's passed. But different choices. Yeah, Hellboy makes it to the end of the world to meet his doom. He fights a giant dragon, but having eaten the giants, he is stronger for it. He meets the dragon, they're evenly matched, and in the end, they both fall and die together, so it's a double count out, and Hellboy beats the dragon, or retains. He retains the title against the dragon. Holy shit. I can't believe it. Can you believe it, JR?
That's the damnest thing you ever seen.
I don't know, Michael.
Get out of here, JBL. Nobody likes you. You shouldn't bully people. Leave Mara and Aller alone.
So yeah,
and
Hellboy dies.
Yeah, Makoma dies, the bag opens, and all the powers of the giants that we mentioned all come flying out, and Africa becomes not completely a shithole.
Yep, and Makoma, the boy who I guess is the narrator, who is the mummy, comes out of the bag and pretty much says, what, like,
I carved it, took, us forever, but I, recovered Makoma's bones in the hammer, then I carved out a monument in a tomb and lived for 500 years and then died.
And then the mummy shatters into like a million pieces, and
mind you,
Hellboy is banned.
The whole point of him sticking around was to tell Hellboy the story.
Yeah, that was the only purpose of the mummy's life. We can sort of, like, this, the story of the mummy that the mummy tells about Makoma is very much a reflection of Hellboy's life on Earth. So, like, we can talk about that.
But I got to read this last little bit, which this is like totally Hellboy, right? Mm-hmm. The last frame, and you're introduced to these characters at the beginning of the thing. He's talking about who the different people were, and they're talking about, like, one of the guys talking about he was going on an Arctic expedition and probably wasn't going to make it back, but he did. And it says, like, Trevor Bruton Holmes survived the Cavendish Arctic expedition, but was killed in his Brooklyn, New York home by a frog monster.
Which is the first book, and then we get the picture of Hellboy and Bruttenholm in Africa.
Yeah, in 1947.
When Hellboy would have been 3 years old or 4 years old.
Yep.
So, yeah, full circle. But this story of defying destiny and choosing to fight with the demon that you've been fated to lose against, hoping to fight it to a draw, is pretty much the entire story. Like, that's pretty much the overarching plot of Hellboy. Fighting your destiny.
I kind of got my thing was, it's kind of got, like you said, you fight it to a standstill, like you said, double count out, to use a wrestling term. Mm-hmm. But in doing so, not only have, you've lost, but they lost too, so everything kind of goes back to the way it was.
Yes.
So, yes, the world got destroyed. I'm using air quotes there, but because it was a double count out, it kind of just stayed the way it was.
Yeah. No title changed hands. Right. Exactly. Yeah, and, like, okay. yeah, as we progress through the story, you'll start to see more of who the little boy is supposed to be in the Hellboy characters. Hellboy's clearly Makoma in this story. I don't think we're gonna get to see. I don't think there's much of the wizened old lady. Although maybe that's Hecate or Hecate. And then, yeah, the big giant monster. Hellboy fights a lot of big giant monsters, guys. So, yeah,
it's almost like it's a recurring theme.
Yeah, like falling through floors and being unfazed by obviously paranormal shit.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a thing that just happened.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I just fell through my 13th floor today.
Yeah, does this one have any floors?
No.
Floors that anyone falls through? Yeah, it's in Africa, so there's not a lot of 2-story buildings.
Yeah.
Hell, there's
Poor
a lot
Hellboy.
of 1-story buildings.
Poor Hellboy. Got a whole story where he doesn't fall through a floor.
Yeah, he don't know what to do with himself. He's like,
Yeah, so what do you guys think of this one? I think this is a really good short story.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was really a fun thing. Like you said, it kind of gives you, like we were talking about, it's giving you what's basically going to be the entire like story of Hellboy in a condensed like story, not using Hellboy per se. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, like we said, Makoma is basically Makoma was basically what Hellboy is going to become.
And already is, to a lot of degrees. He's like, Hellboy is a boy who was thrown into the water with alligators.
Yeah.
And came out a fully grown man in like pretty much no time. If you like think about what happens at the start of his life, he's 4 years old and a fully grown man, or a fully grown boy, like a 16-year-old or something.
Yeah.
In terms of his physicality, and all of it, already he is going out on missions with giant monsters and shit like that. There's even like a Hellboy 1950s series. That's okay. It's not as good as the main storyline.
I've read a couple of them. It was alright.
Yeah, they're just fun little romps. They're like not super essential to the story, but they build up details that you'll start like. They build up details, preserve the themes, and so on. How about you, Jason? What did you think of this?
How do I put this? Like, throughout the whole thing, I'm looking at this parable, and I'm like, more thinking about how much it relates to other world religions and mythologies and everything.
Okay.
And then how that all relates to Hellboy. And it really says a lot for Mike Mignola, and all of it feels like it works together flawlessly.
Mm-hmm.
All these disparate, local mythologies. We've had a lot of European mythology.
Yeah, as the series progresses, we'll start to get more of the Asian mythologies and South American mythologies involved there. Abe's got like a huge arc that takes place in South America that's really cool.
But they all mesh. Like, you'd think there'd be points where you would have to reconcile differences, but
it's
either
like,
they
no.
don't, or Mignola just does it so cleanly that it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's tough.
And a lot of it just comes down to, like, what the fuck of it, These two things that don't seem to work together. Well, they fucking do, so deal with it,
Yeah, no, and there's like all of the mythologies are true type aspect to Hellboy, which I love. The priest can still perform an exorcism on a demon, on a South American demon, and it doesn't seem that weird for a Catholic priest in Latin America to be exorcising a Mayan demon. It just works. Like, okay.
And, right?
I'd have a question, but like, it's fun. Seems to make sense.
Wonder if Daryl's actually read the comic yet.
Why does Hellboy fight Gojira at the end? I don't know. It just works. Wait, this wouldn't be Gojira. What's the name of the three-headed one?
King Ghidorah.
Yeah, Ghidorah. Thank you.
Yeah, he's basically, and it's funny. That's another, you want to make an analogy. That's like in some of the movies, on the old Godzilla movies, he was, Ghidorah was known as the destroyer of worlds.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of funny how you made that connection, like.
Yeah, Hellboy at the end of the world fighting King Ghidorah.
Yeah, well, and it's funny because when they introduced Ghidorah in the movies, the whole thing was like, oh, we got this giant monster who's destroying everything, who's fighting all these other giant monsters, and because you also had Rodan and Mothra in these, and then the whole time Mothra is like trying to tell him, Rodan and Godzilla, yo, chill out, there's big boy bad thing coming and we need to stop it, and Godzilla doesn't give a shit, he's, I'm gonna fight people, I don't care. I'll take him out myself because I'm Godzilla, and then he starts fighting Rodan again.
Mothra, I know that you're the one objectively good kaiju here. I know that you're the one, like, objectively good one of us, but fuck you. I'm gonna fight Rodan.
I mean, it's one of the funnier scenes in the movie. It's like, he sits down. Like, Mothra calls for parley, and Godzilla literally sits down.
And the actor in the fucking suit.
Yeah. The scene is hilarious. He just sits down. And and Rodan's over there, flapping around, trying to.
Does he put the hand on his chin to like show that he's?
He does. No, he puts his hand on his knees though, like he's sitting down, like I'm sitting.
God damn it!
And so as we're doing the parlay, like you got the little fairy girls, who are Mothra's little fairy people, trying to tell them, basically explaining what they're saying, like in their monster talk, right? And so basically, Mothra's like, yeah, this is giant big bad thing coming and we need to stop it. And Rodan was all like, why should I help the humans? They always try to blow me up. And then Godzilla's like, yeah, fam, I hear you.
Yeah, fuck that guy. Fuck those humans. Let's fight each other.
Exactly. And Godzilla literally hits him with atomic breath right after. And then there's this other scene right after that because Rodan says he's had enough talking, he's going to fly away, and then the guy who's playing Godzilla not Mothra, Rodan's getting ready to fly away, and Godzilla's flapping his arms like he's going to fly away too.
Okay, so this is that era of Godzilla.
Yo, it was right before, it was they were about 3 or 4 movies before they went super crazy.
Before they went tail skid for 100 feet.
Yeah. They were 3 or 4 movies away from that, but it was still they were trying to be serial at some points. But I think they were just at that point, let's have a little fun,
Yeah, they're trying to be more like the Sentai sort of things.
Yeah.
Okay,
and then of course, and I should mention that Mothra at this point is not moth form. She's in her larva form, her weakest form.
Okay,
and so,
got it.
So, after they say, she finally says, fuck off, I'll do this myself, right? And, Mothra goes and crawls off, and Godzilla and Rodan's like, damn, dog. She's gonna get killed. They look at each other, she's gonna get killed, right? Yeah, she's gonna get killed. And so, I know
that's right before the atomic breath?
They atomic breath during the conversation. That was what was funny.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah. And so, she, curls up on Ghidorah, is like, yo, fam, you got to stop this shit. And he just busting her ass, just lightning bust, starts stomping on her and shit. And then the face turn, and Godzilla comes in and makes the save.
Godzilla comes in and makes the fucking save. He takes the run in.
Does the run in. I mean, literally runs in.
Yep.
And then Rodan comes off. I mean, literally, Rodan comes off the top rope.
By God, that three-headed monster has a family.
It went from oh God, the world's going to get destroyed to oh, they've teamed up, they're taking them out. This is awesome. I mean, they were doing 2 sweets and everything. It was great. Anderson, Gallows, and AJ, they were there.
Which one's Mothra?
Hell. I guess it had to be Anderson because
yeah, because he's the wimp, right?
Yeah. So because AJ's the high flyer, so that had to be Rodan, and so and of course Gallows would be Godzilla.
Yeah, 6'7" Gallows.
Yeah.
Wrong podcast,
yeah.
Lane.
Yeah, let's beat up Samoa Joe.
Yeah, let's. I gotta get you cats on the wrestling podcast, which you guys can check out at Heels and Heroes Pod.
The plug.
Yeah, thanks. I thought it was natural.
Bring it all back. This is exactly what happened in that comic. Except for the parlay. Well, I guess it kind of was a parlay, though.
Yeah, I mean, the
was
parlay was they all got the shit kicked out of them and got eaten.
Yeah. I mean, the parlay was
they
like,
agreed
let's
to
let
it.
their powers. And, so he can take on Big Boy,
Yeah. I guess the one thing I forgot to mention, just like at the start, where we start with Mignola's art, once the dream ends, we also end with Mignola's art.
Yeah.
And that's a really cool effect. I love it when they switch artists mid-book to make a point. It usually works really effectively. Just like in this one, in the recent Black Bolt run, there was they did that with Christian Ward's art was anytime Bolt was present, but they've got one where Lockjaw is like the main focus character, and they've got like a super childish cartoon art for all of Lil Lockjaw's memories, and then when he's reunited with Black Bolt, you get that sweet, beautiful, crisp Christian Ward art back.
I used to do that in some of the older, older Wolverine stories. Like when he was telling a story, he's like, Bub Snick, this is what I did in the past, Bub Snick, and then when they went to that new story, it was like, where he's telling the tale, it's like a different artist. And that's where
I think that's a cool way to illustrate. Yeah, to illustrate like different people's perspectives.
Yeah, and a changing environment, changing it's like, I mean, when Wolverine's like in the X Mansion, and then all of a sudden he starts talking about like World War II, Yeah,
you probably don't want the crisp, clean art that you
don't want Jim Lee like writing your World War II story, drawing your World War II story. Maybe not. You know what I mean? You want
that's when you give some.
That's probably when
more
you want
indie
some
guy.
You want some more indie guy who give you a little dirt on that shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they won't give you the crisp, clean lines that the superhero audience is used to. Mm-hmm. Give you those dirty lines that existed in World War II.
Yeah, I mean, kind of give you that, like the stuff from the 40s. You know what I mean? Like more of a art type. Yeah,
they would just straight up go back to the 40s style. That's even cooler.
Yeah. Go go back. More 40s-esque. More like washed out color. Yeah, more washed out colors and things like that.
That works even better. I was thinking that they'd do more like I was thinking like you'd go from Wolverine, typical Lee art, and then you jump into like not quite Mike Mignola, but like some more impressionist sort of stuff,
or like a Laniel Yu type.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
But then if you go back to the 1940s style art, I love that even more. Mm-hmm. Because that totally fits thematically. And I'm sure Wolverine tells stories where he is the good guy, the pure good guy, and there's...
Oh, no, he's straight up saying, yeah, I killed that bitch.
yeah. But, it's 1940s, and they're bad guys, so it's okay for him to just say, I killed
they're
that
Nazis,
bitch.
so it's whatever, right? It's like, I was working for the Canadian SS,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if Hellboy taught me anything.
Now I think about it, Wayne, there was one World War II, might not have been World War II, but flashback story from Wolverine that was done by Jim Lee that was really good.
That's true. Yeah, I remember.
Was that World War II the one I'm thinking of with him and Cap?
I think it was him and Cap and somehow Black Widow. Yeah.
Yeah, a kid version of Black Widow.
Yeah, a kid version. Because, in the comics, people don't know, Black Widow is actually a lot older than she actually is.
She is about maybe 6-8 years younger than Cap.
Yeah, but because of what the Russians did to her, she can she stays young.
She spent 40 fucking plus years in suspended animation.
Yeah, that too. Yeah,
that would keep you young.
Kind of had a similar thing that happened to Cap, except the Russians made her do it.
It wasn't 40. It was
30.
End of World War II to
probably
60s,
70s.
Yeah.
Late 60s, early 70s, I want to say.
Yeah, but still, she still got some de-aging
Yeah.
That, doesn't make her like age as fast as everybody else.
So yeah, all right, guys, we're looking back. One episode left of Hellboy, and for your reference, Evan, that is actually going to be Darkness Calls.
Okay.
Good, nice one to go out on,
Yeah, nice one to go out on. We get the that beautiful Duncan Fegredo art going on. So yeah, that'll be nice.
But then, looking forward, we're going to be doing some change-ups. Evan is going on to greener pastures for a little while.
Yeah.
A new job.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Hopefully well.
And to focus more on his podcast, which is Heels and Heroes.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how well that one goes too. Probably worse than the job.
And we're going to have some new people coming in. Piper's going to be coming back as a fixture. Wayne, you missed her episode.
Yeah, I was not feeling well that day, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's all good.
I had the icky sickies. I had a little upset tummy.
But it was good. There was some good chemistry.
That's
and
good.
she definitely brings a couple things to the table that we don't have now. And see, I would have gone lowbrow here and said tits, but Wayne and I are both fat.
Yeah, I was about to say tits.
We've all got tits except for Evan. He's got
Evan's
something resembling pecs.
I've never seen him before. I'm sure he's a good-looking boy.
He's like heroin addict skinny, dude.
Oh, okay.
No,
Is
I'm
he?
not. No, I'm not. I'm like 6'1" and 180 almost now.
Oh, yeah, heroin addict. Yeah, got it.
You should have seen me,
dude.
You should have seen me 3 years ago, dude. It was it was ramen noodles for lunch every day.
Dude, that's my life now, and I'm still 270.
What was that, college boy? What was that going on?
Yeah, that's what was going on. Grad school boy.
Love the good old college diet, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna starve myself except for this ramen noodles that I can buy like 18 in a pack for $1.
But yeah,
Also, I'm gonna spend all that extra money on beer.
right.
So I'm getting all my carbs.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're gonna have a bit of a shake-up again, and I'm not saying we're not gonna do another like in-depth run like this again, but we need a break.
Yeah, we've had a couple like 6, 7, 8, so many issues in a row. Gotta go back to good comics like Superman, True Brit.
Oh God, no. But we do have some good stuff planned coming up.
Yeah, we're gonna read the Kingdom.
No, never.
What's wrong with the Kingdom, man?
Yeah, like we're gonna. Well, put it this way: we're literally recording this on opening weekend for Infinity War.
Yep.
Yeah, you guys gotta get back on that Marvel shit.
Yeah, and at least 3 of us here are big fans of Infinity Gauntlet.
We would like to do some Cape stuff.
Yeah,
What we're saying, yeah.
some Cape stuff, some short independent stuff. Just
Kingdom.
a little.
A
No,
lot more stoned video gaming.
Dude, why don't you want to like talk about the superior follow-up to Kingdom Come? I don't understand.
because it's not superior.
My friend.
It's just a lot of this is also coinciding with like, especially me, because I'm the one who comes up with the fucking episodes.
Mm-hmm.
I tell everybody what to read. I've been, experimenting more, branching out more, going into different things that I've never read before. And I'm bringing, stuff back and handing it to other people and being like, you gotta fucking read this, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Warlock.
Yeah, like Warlock.
Yeah, one of the next 4 to 5 episodes is going to be the Jim Starlin run of Adam Warlock.
And then
Which
we'll do
is-
the Kingdom.
No. But no, that Warlock run, seriously, probably the best single run I've ever read.
This stuff is so good. Unfortunately, Marvel fucked it all up.
Yeah. But no, there's going to be, some stuff coming up that it's going to be fun. Like, that's the big thing for me is we've taken this Hellboy thing and we've tried at least to be serious and, build every episode and try to get this bigger view of Hellboy. But that's just not us.
Right.
Yeah, that sounds about right. We do a lot better with dick jokes.
Yeah. And we do a lot better when, we don't have to think.
Which is Daryl all the time.
Maybe that's why. What was it? The Neil Gaiman book that we read.
1602.
Yeah, maybe that's why 1602 was so hard for me because I couldn't turn my brain off. I had to think about things, and I was like, "What? No, I don't do that." Like, give me that Hellboy. Give me this guy who beats people up. That's about the extent that I can think. Shit. Yeah.
Beats people up and falls through things. That's
he's basically.
Holy fuck! I just made a realization. Hellboy is that typical indie wrestler that Jim Cornette hates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hellboy's a spot monkey, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
He's great. He's a good spot monkey.
Good boy. Yeah,
he knows his spots too.
He's a
fall through the floor, beat up the
heel. Yeah,
beat up the heel. Exactly.
Yeah. Knows what he's doing. He's got his gimmick. He knows.
Take your hits, make your comeback. Down for the count with your finisher.
But no, I feel like we learned our lesson here. That this longer format just isn't for us.
Like, we need, I mean, honestly, quick hits, bam, 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 let's go.
Yeah. So, I think we'll be seeing a shitload less of this going forward.
More Godzilla books.
Yeah, more Godzilla books.
Yeah. I gotta get my hands on them.
And the Kingdom.
Call me back to the podcast anytime you guys got a Godzilla book, some like indie shit that's not super sad, like that one about the lions.
Oh yeah.
I ain't reading that shit.
Yeah, we don't. Oh.
I ain't want to cry. I ain't want to cry in front of you guys.
It's funny, I kind of noticed when I was telling the Godzilla story, you were kind of like, yeah, getting into it, like, yeah, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, it sounds like dudes in suits fighting each other. It sounds pretty awesome.
Like I said, I always describe Godzilla as like, think of like wrestling, but with, guys in suits instead of guys in their underwear. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
It's got guys in suits instead of guys in suits.
Well, funny you mention it. There's an episode that, I know he's not here, but Dick has been trying to get me to do for 2 years now.
And is it Godzilla versus Barkley?
Yes, it is.
For real? You're serious?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a comic. There's an advertisement. Come on.
Yeah, there was a commercial. There was a whole commercial where they fought each other.
Yeah, see, I mean, we gotta cover this shit.
Godzilla got dunked on, It wasn't a chaos dunk or anything, but
the fucking chaos dunk. Oh my god, it ended society as we know it.
Listening to the sounds of silence. We don't know how to end the show. This is the direction in which we go. Sorry.
That was pretty good.
I'm gonna do like a point on this, but I forgot what it was. I mean, is there a point? I mean, I feel like there should be a point.
Okay. I kind of tuned out a little bit ago, but I think the point you were reaching towards was that things are going to be changing around here. We're going to tighten things up. We're going to change things. We're going to introduce new things. We're working on making this stuff good. Yeah.
We're going to read some good books. Shit that we need to shill. We're going to remember to shill all the shit we need to shill.
Right.
No, we're not.
Right.
Yes, we are.
No, and you know what, man? I will say, it's a running joke for the longest time that we kind of hate ourselves in what we do here. But I've never been more proud to work with you guys than I have been on this show. So,
gay.
It's totally gay, but it's true. So we give ourselves a lot of hard times, but we put more effort into this than we let on.
Yeah,
You know,
I don't.
So
well, we do.
yes, you, dude. You have been doing that pretty. You've been putting in a lot of
wait a
effort,
minute.
Jason.
Let's say I want to give an example here before we cut out. Okay. Now remember, I still want to do. I still got to do our first recording for our other show for the for my alternate reality stuff. I said for the first thing we do, I'm not going to say what it is. I said you only need a good synopsis. You guys kind of know the thing. Jason goes to read the whole thing.
Oh,
Yeah,
was it like
yeah.
2,000 pages?
Yes.
Fucking Spider-Man, huh?
You ain't spoiling it.
Oh, no. I'm pretty sure we mentioned it a couple weeks back, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. So.
I'm trying to like build anticipation.
Yeah, he's trying to build the tension here, guys.
Okay, now now that all the gayness is out of my system, building up anticipation for what?
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, good one.
But I read 5 volumes of around 450 to 500 pages each.
You're a
I
madman.
hate myself. These thoughts are never going to leave my mind.
You're fucked for the rest of your life, dude. These scars will remain.
And I literally said, just get a synopsis.
And the worst part is, Wayne, I want to make a really good joke, but it would give it away.
Right.
Yeah. Save it for the show, man. We need to bring some material.
But no, it's like it was a really, really fucking good and smart reference, but it would give too much away.
Right.
Tell me when
So
we
anyway,
get off the...
I'm gonna, since nobody else seems to be wanting to wrap this up, let's fucking do it.
Yeah, so
Are we?
tell us how wrong we were on Twitter at graded.5.
There's
Go to
that
our site, show our shit, send them around to your friends, make fun of us. I mean, there's no such thing as
pictures
bad
of your
intention here.
boobs.
Believe it or not, sharing this with your friends is a great way for us to get more listeners. Like, do it.
I know.
Just
It's
do it.
crazy how that works, right?
It's easier because we don't advertise. We're lazy
Seriously.
like that.
Here's the thing that fucks me up, right? Like, we've got people out there listening. We've given them a place to come fuck with us, right? And we got to assume that at least part of that audience is made up of trolls, right? Like, which is great, fucking awesome. But, like, why aren't those motherfuckers coming in and giving us shit? We need to be given shit.
Well, there's a reason. Because we record.
Our
so
egos
far,
are getting out of control.
Well, no,
Huh?
we record so far in advance now that the episodes where we've actually started doing the shillings haven't aired yet.
I know.
Literally,
yeah.
this is episode 9 of Hellboy. We've only aired up to episode 5.
Oh, shit.
All right, so we're being patient. We're good, patient boys.
Yes.
Yeah.
As of the time of this recording, we've only published the first 5 episodes.
That's because I just can't be asked to do my job.
What was that you were saying, Daryl, about us being hard workers earlier?
Listen, I'll admit, I've got a friend on social media who's in a suicidal phase right now, so I was feeling a little, like emotional there. It had nothing to do with you guys. We all suck, and we know it.
He's trying to build.
Like, no, I want you guys to be around for a while. So,
Dude, with my lifestyle, if I make 40, I'm going to be surprised.
oh god, I'm almost there. Oh shit. Yeah, but
Right. So we want to shill for just like another second here.
Go.
Go watch
You guys got anything
graded.
to show?
Go watch graded .5 plays where Jason and I get really stoned and play old superhero themed games and
That can be found over at video.supernerdland.com. Because
just
fuck YouTube.
forgive
don't-
the racism.
Yeah, forgive the racism. Don't try to find us on Twitter. Fuck Twitter. And check out if you're a fan of the wrestling, check out Heels and Heroes. I'm gonna get Wayne on as a guest here to shit on the WWE in the next couple weeks.
Yeah, buddy.
And we'll see you next time. Hey, this is Jason. This here to say if you enjoyed the show, spread it around on social media. And follow our social media presences on Facebook and Twitter, both at graded.5. Just spell the whole thing out. Also, support your local comic shop and the Comic Book Legal Defense Fund. If you don't know where your local comic shop is, there are sites like findacomic.com, and that'll help you find it. Well, we hope you enjoyed the show, and we'll catch you next time.